CII has been a very old partner, not only with the government where I work, but it has also been a partner of A.K. Sharma in my own personal capacity. You might recall, some of you might recall, that I was working in Gujarat as IAS officer, and Vibrant Gujarat event is actually the mother of all such events which are happening right now. Mr. Modi started Vibrant Gujarat event, and I was working as Mr. Sagar is working right now in the industry department. I was the managing director of what Invest UP is today. In Gujarat it is called Industrial Extension Bureau, Index B. So that was the institution which was responsible for organizing. So CII and also FICCI, I must add, used to be partners over the years in that event, and I learned a lot from CII and FICCI also about the sensitivity towards business ideas, sensitivity towards your interest, sensitivity towards what you think about government and all that. So it has been a long journey with all of you, and that is why I could not stop myself from coming here in the midst of all of you. I thank Vinamra also for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. As has been already said, the change in UP is very visible. And the change has just, I must add, the change has just started. It's not the end, it's not the final product. We have just started making changes in UP. In fact, I have always said, and I have always believed, that UP is a reservoir of opportunities, a treasure of opportunities. And since it's my home state, I know for so many years that you talk of agriculture, UP is very rich. UP is the biggest producer of many food crops, including the paddy, rice, milk, vegetables, fruits. UP has immense amount of lot of precious mineral resources which are waiting for getting processed and getting value added. So, thirdly, you name in fact, I would say, you should look around UP, those who have any doubt even now, you should look around UP, old UP, like Mr. Akash is coming from Kanpur. Kanpur, since I have worked in Gujarat, I used to sometimes laugh at this situation. In Gujarat, they used to call Ahmedabad as the Manchester of the West. Manchester of India, of West India, whatever it is. At the same time, Kanpur was called Manchester of East, or Manchester of East India. So, the competition between Ahmedabad and Kanpur is an old story. It's not a new thing. It is not A.K. Sharma's creation. It is not Mr. Yogi Adityanath's creation. It is an old existing strength of Uttar Pradesh, which we have to just rejuvenate. We don't have to do much. Similarly, our products like say silk products, could you UP was not competing with the silk of say Bangalore or Karnataka, the silk products of say saris of Surat. So all that has happened in UP. The brass products of Muradabad, say, and also small equipments made in Aligarh, like locks and other things. So all these, they had their international presence already in the past. What happened? Like what has happened in the entire Indian story. In India, there are two thoughts. One thought is that India used to be a very poor country. India used to be a very neglected country. No. We in this we differ from that philosophy, we differ from that thought, and we particularly those who have been in BJP, those who have nurtured the thoughts about old and ancient India, they believe that India used to be a very prosperous, very sound nation in the past, and that is why it was called Sone Ki Chidiya. So Sone Ki Chidiya was not a name given just like that. There has to be some basis for that. There has to be some, and the basis is, the calculation is that 5,000 years back, my friends, India's GDP used to be almost 25-30% of the world GDP. There is a British economist, Angus Madison. You can find his name just now also on Google. Angus Madison. He has done research. He has written many books also. He has said that in 1 BC also, and then he has gone forward to account for the world GDP and India sharing it. He says that 25-30% of GDP used to come from India. So how did Indian GDP form 25 or 30% part of global GDP? It was because mainly of agriculture, and secondly because of all these homegrown industries. It could be textiles, it could be toys, it could be processed food, it could be whatever. So, and in that, I was telling in one day in Vidhan Sabha also, that if India 5,000 years back, or say 1 BC or 1000 BC, if India was 25-30% of GDP, and that time mostly the economics was hovering around agriculture, and this heartland of agriculture in India, UP, this could not have been this could not be lagging behind. So obviously UP's GDP also must be having a very prominent share in India's GDP. So from that angle, I was telling, and I have been telling, that UP has to just reinvent itself. UP has to just reimagine itself, reposition itself. And perhaps Mr. Yogi's biggest contribution is that he has repositioned UP in that old historic perspective, and today UP is not only 1/5 of national population, it is also around 1/25 of global population also. If UP was a country, it would have to say that you better use Indian products, better support the Indian industry. From that perspective, UP and the Hindi heartland, or UP's heartland, the northern India, was already a very vibrant economic belt of the country, and we are trying to reposition. In fact, what lacked in UP has been fulfilled by Mr. Yogi. What lacked was governance deficit, as many of you would imagine. Lack of governance, or say governance deficit, was reflected first and foremost in poor law and order situation. Law and order is government's creation, nothing else. Nothing else. You promote the gundas, they will harass the people. You put them under control, people will be happy. So this is as simple as that. It is simply a factor of how our home department, how our police, and how our administration works. And with Mr. Yogi's arrival in UP, that part has been sizably controlled. Similar lack of governance, or say governance deficit, was reflected in the treatment being given to industry, or treatment being given to businesses. The first and end objective, the last objective, if it is to extract something from you, then obviously you can't do your business here. Last year I was talking to Akash. I was in Merchant Chambers premises in Kanpur, and I remember talking to them first of all on a round table format, and then delivering a small talk like this. After talking to them, I realized that there cannot be a more resilient, there cannot be a more hard-working entrepreneur than what they are in UP. Kanpur, with lot of hardships. They told me at least 24 issues which were facing the Kanpur industry. It could be a railway crossing. They said, साहब यहाँ रेलवे क्रॉसिंग तो खुलती ही नहीं है, जब देखो तब बंद रहती है. कब घर से फैक्ट्री जाने को निकलते हैं, it takes half a day to reach to the factory. So as simple as that, as basic as that, internet connectivity, electricity, water, tax administration, all this you have struggled through all this. You have, so no one can be. So, sir, good evening. So no one can be more resilient. I welcome on your behalf, I welcome Honorable Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, Mr. D. Krishna Sahab. He has been my mentor also. He was senior secretary in Government of India, and I had just become secretary in the Government of India. He supported me, he guided me, and even before that we have worked together quite a lot. So I treat him as my guru, and also he belongs to my own district, which is Mou. There also, being a Pakka Pandit, he actually comes from a community which is placed as our guru. So, namaste sir. So I was telling sir the audience that Indian industry, and particularly the UP industry and UP businesses, there can't be a more resilient workforce, there can't be a more resilient or more future worthy or future ready set of people. I must compliment you that today you are sitting at the right time when UP is going to take off. While promoting the Global Investor Summit, I happened to be in Gujarat for promotion of the GIS, and we were doing a similar roadshow. I told them that in 2001, Gujarat was in fact devastated in many respects. One, there was a cyclone before 2001. There was an earthquake in 2001 when Mr. Modi took over as Chief Minister of Gujarat. So Gujarat's economy, Gujarat's social fabric, Gujarat's infrastructure, it had collapsed. It was broken, and from there, Mr. Yogi and Mr. Modi, chartered Gujarat, and that was the take-off period of Gujarat. So I told them in presence of Gujarati businessmen that 2001 was your time of take-off, and 2023 is our time of take-off. So please come and invest in UP, and you'll be surprised. Many of you might be having connections with Gujarat industry and Gujarat businesses also. Many of them, including the chairperson of Government, he said that no, we have been thinking of going abroad. He was talking on behalf of the industry of Gujarat. We were not talking for his own company. He said that many of us have been thinking that now where else after Gujarat. They said that the working environment, the work culture, the industrial environment, they feel that it's not conducive in any other part of the country. So they have been thinking of going to Malaysia, going to Thailand, going to even China, going to XYZ foreign country. But now, after seeing the vibrancy in UP under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Secretary, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, he said, Mr. Sudhir Mehta's words are that now many of us have been thinking to have a look at UP also. This was the remark which came from Sudhir Mehtaji, and so I encourage all of you to be in UP first of all. Don't go anywhere. UP's days have come. UP's takeoff period has come, and we are here with our tightened belts to help you in all possible manner. I know our Chief Secretary and we are all colleagues. I was a junior in the bureaucracy, and I still treat myself as a junior even as minister. So we are all there to help you. And in fact, our Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, immediately after the Global Investor Summit, now I am coming to your topic, I will take just 1 more or 2 minutes. Coming to your topic of today, the intent is there, where is the delivery, how it is going to translate into action. This is what is the theme. So immediately after the GIS, as soon as it was over, and people, many of us and many of our officers, they are still feeling very tired because of hard work they have put in the GIS. But Mr. Chief Minister, he called a meeting, full cabinet, full council of ministers, full bureaucracy, senior bureaucracy, and he said that now first, as someone said, only half the job is done so far. I think you have to say that you have done only half the job. The next half is more difficult, and this was our Honorable Chief Minister who gave the task that we all have to find out. We have fine-tuned our 25 policies. We have brought out a lot of good mechanisms in terms of policy framework, but now the ground breaking, the ground solutions have to be found out. If someone has problem in getting land, he has to be arranged with land. If someone has problem with getting electricity, getting water, getting X infrastructure, Y infrastructure, or getting, say, tax issues resolved, manpower issues resolved, all that is in our hand and we are actively on the job. Today only I spoke to my 2 departments. You might be knowing that our renewable energy department was a department which bagged the most number of MOUs and the most and the biggest amount in terms of share in the 34 lakh crores. So today morning only I told the director NEDA, are you working on grounding these MOUs or not? He said, sir, we have already started working, and I can show his comment on WhatsApp. He said, no sir, we are very actively working on it. Similar was the comment from our urban development, where also MOUs worth 2 lakh crores plus have been signed. So we are very active. I must assure you that we will do our best. I used to tell the industry, and wherever I went as minister and even before that from UP, that you take 1 step and we will walk 5 steps for you. So that is our excellence for you also. You will not find us lacking in your expectations. You will not find us lacking in your desires. We are here to support you. One more thing, last thing, I must say. I would suggest that while arranging say land, arranging electricity, arranging water, or all kinds of infrastructure issues, is still easy, I would say. We were talking about defense industrial corridor. I was in Bundelkhand a few months back, and I said that arranging all this is still easy, but 2 things are even more difficult than even this. One is to prepare the manpower to take advantage of the upcoming industry. We have to prepare our boys and girls, our ITI trainees, polytechnic trainees, engineering graduates. We have to prepare them from technical side also and from the side of soft skills as well. Only then they can be hired by, say, companies which are coming in the defense corridor, say from most. If it is coming, they would definitely not bring any man. They would not like to bring. It's uneconomical to bring manpower from any foreign country for them. They would definitely prefer to have a trained boy and girl who could work in the factory. So, but we have to prepare. We have to prepare them both from the technical point of view and from the point of view of soft skills. And the second is that we have to create living conditions for the management, for the workers, for the professionals, and for the managers who are coming in those companies, who are coming in those factories from foreign countries and from other cities. So these are 2 bigger challenges in my opinion. In my opinion, these are the bigger challenges, and I must add quickly that we have started working on those fronts also, like the living environment, the quality of life. You might have seen Lucknow even earlier and see Lucknow today. Yesterday only we had a team of some officers visiting UP. They must have met you also, sir. Pratik Mathur, he's a boy from Ghaziabad. He's in Indian Foreign Service. He was working with me in PM office, and now he is working in Washington, in our embassy at Washington. And yesterday night when he was in Lucknow, he said, "Sir, I have been in Lucknow so many times. It used to be a sleepy town, and now it can compete with any global city." And the guests who had come in G20, in fact, they are all praised for, say, Agra or Lucknow, and in fact, our heads were high when they used to say that it is almost comparable to any global city. So, from that perspective, we are trying to create good environment for you. We are trying to create good work culture for you by training our boys and girls to work with you. I must say that this is UP's time, friends, and you should be here if you want to make progress, if you want well-being in your life. I wish you all the best, and I again say that we are all here with our arms open to welcome you and to support you in any possible manner. Thank you all. Thank you very much.